and the nerd status.
That's right.
Got to remember that. In the red, in the upper left, we have Creator. It's 1-1 right now. The rubber match, not rubber match, I should say, match number 3. It is first to 4 wins here.
Yep.
In the bottom right in the blue, we have our other Protoss player, PartinG, with great Stalker micro.
Yep. And guys, just to remind you once again, please go ahead, get on Twitter, hashtag BWC. We want this trending worldwide, not just in the regions. So get that going.
Please do that.
Because, guys, this is our World Championship. Anyone can enter this tournament. So many people have. And we are finally going to have an actual World Champion. Not just the winner of, let's say, the hardest
Tournament
tournament.
X,
Or, yeah, this guy won the most tournaments or something like that. No, 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 no.
We no longer need to have, you know, some kind of nebulous ranking system that we have to come up with on our own. We have an event that actually unifies all other events.
Yeah. So guys, please do go ahead and do that. So let's take a look at this map taste. Antigua Shipyard, one of our oldest maps. It's been around for a very long time, and people know how to play on this map, Protoss versus Protoss. And one of the most common ways, blink Stalker with Observer. There's just so much area to blink up into the main.
And of course, you can use that Observer to try to pick off other pylons on the outside there. So, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do. There are other builds that are good as well. But I really feel like, yeah, when I play on this map, at least I prefer the Blink Stalker build. When I talk to other Protosses, they say the same thing.
Yeah. But because it's so popular and so obvious that it's great, sometimes you do see some other builds mixed in because of that. For instance, a lot of players do go for an Immortal build here.
Sure.
And try to get that expansion up and hold off the Stalkers. But if, you know, one player goes for the Blink Observer and controls it just perfectly, that's still going to be pretty hard. So a lot of times it comes down to variants of Blink Observer. Do you do the 3-Stalker rush, the 5-Stalker rush, the 1 gate into fast blink? Do you go Observer first? There's a lot of different variations, and they all match up.
Are we going to have a proxy pylon here from PartinG?
That would be weird.
No, he moves that again. I was going to say that's a very strange place
He
to put.
is going to do something
All right,
here.
he's up to something.
Is he going to 4-gate? He is going to 4-gate.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Chrono boosting over here at the Cybernetics core.
Might hide 3 gates over on that side.
Sure.
Of course, on this map for this tournament, you know that your cross spawns.
That's right.
There's no way Creator's Probe is going to.
Sometimes this map is 4 players. In this tournament, it's 2 players.
Yes, exactly.
So make no mistake when you see this, there's no blind luck here.
All right, well, it really looks like he is going to go for a Warp Gate rush. Now, he could go for a 3-gate or he could go for a 4-gate. Oh, never mind. Never mind, never mind.
Oh, he wants to do what he... What, we saw one of them try this earlier in game number 1.
PartinG tried it.
That's right, and now it's going to be PartinG trying it again here in game number 3.
That's right, and he is going to be getting a really quick Warp Prism, probably going up to 4 gates total, and just dropping units in his opponent's base and warping in units as well. And that's something that if your opponent makes a decent amount of sentries, you will just kill them. Because sentries are not really helpful against this. They don't do a lot of damage there for holding the ramp. But to bypass that, your opponent's just going to need a lot of ground units like Stalkers and Zealots.
Well, you can see Creator's already checked the outskirts of his own base to see if there's maybe a pylon hidden there. We haven't seen that done before. The interesting hidden pylon play here by Haka I also loved.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever see that again. But
I don't know.
Now we're going to have the Warp Prism coming in here. Now, the question is, who's going to have the better control? These are 2 of the best micro players in the whole world. In the entire world.
Well, I got to tell you, I think the better control goes to PartinG, and with a, you know, he kind of tipped his hand there, but with a couple sentries already out for Creator, those units aren't going to be as useful in the battle. You can lock units down for a little bit, but they don't do a lot of damage. So here we go. He's going to go ahead with this drop now. Uh-oh, and Creator, he does have an Immortal on the way, so he may still be able to hold this. We will see.
Now he wants to have the Warp Prism on the run here so he can actually micro and then use the pylon to load up and get on high ground. Completely denied here. And wow, nice save.
Yeah, that quick
My God.
Was so important here. The fact that he actually went up to 3 gates, he snipped that something was wrong.
And but you know what I love is that PartinG hardly lost anything.
Yeah, PartinG lost.
PartinG's actually fine.
Yeah, you know, if you look at what's going on, he still has a robotics. He has a lot of gateways. Thing is, his gas is a little bit late, and he's down in probes some because you cut a lot of probes to do this. So, he's following it up with a Colossus all in.
Okay.
Can't argue with that logic. I mean, you don't want to play from a little bit behind against Creator. He's just going to out-macro you and kill you. So, he's going to go ahead and just go straight. Oh, no, he canceled it. I'm surprised.
That's strange.
Yeah.
I feel like now PartinG is at somewhat of a loss as to what to do in this game.
Yeah, he is. Like, that is...
He's trying to come up with a solution, and we don't see it yet.
No.
Instead, he's going to expand. I presume if he sees his opponent leave his base, he'll send the Warp Prism in there and start harassing.
Yeah, that has to be his plan here. But, again, Creator's just going to sit here and out-macro him. And, in fact, he's getting blinked. So, he's going to be so much more mobile than PartinG. And in fact, PartinG right now is trying to do a drop in the main base. I guess we aren't going to show that, but he
really shouldn't be trying that as much as he is right now.
Yeah.
It's really not worth it.
Very,
you know,
very true.
The number of times you fly over there and get driven back, it becomes pretty obvious what's going on. And I think Creator is not going to budge out of his base. Instead, he's probably just going to focus on chrono boosting a lot of probes. Speaking of which, the probe count now, 33 for Creator, for PartinG at 26.
Well, right now, I mean, both of them getting up these expansions, but with different tech routes. We have the robotics bay going up for Creator along with Blink. So he's going to have, obviously, a very important unit in, well, he might get Warp Prism speed. That's a possibility, but I've never seen that with Blink. But also, it could just be a Colossus for crushing force fields and helping deal with Zealots.
The Nexus has finished. And it looks like now Creator's going to go ahead and transfer. Creator just going to try to maintain his lead. If I were Creator, I would play very conservatively and wait to see what is PartinG going to try to do so you can thwart it.
Yeah, well, you know, he's with that Blink, that's going to help. Any drops that come in, he may be able to snipe. Just having Blink overall can be a useful thing. PartinG sometimes when he gets behind does go for double starport or something like that. And in fact, PartinG going to throw up a second robo at home.
So he's probably going to try to grind out as many Colossi as possible.
It's looking
and
like
win into one of those engagements. The rest of his army will probably be Zealots, since he won't have much more gas to support anything. Now, if I were Creator, I want to try to snipe every observer I could find.
Yeah, that's
so that he can't scout me. He either has to remake an observer and possibly risk getting behind in Colossi, or or play blind.
Well, Creator, you know, he's the one that has the Colossi first, so even though the double robo is coming up, it'll take him a while to catch up on that, but he's got the extra mortals. That can help out quite a bit. And if we take a look at the supply, still pretty much in Creator's favor, up by 18, but his probe count is not as far apart anymore, 43 to 39.
The Immortal now for PartinG, the first one out here is, third one out here I should say, is going back to his base. Creator, okay, now Creator has found the hidden robo, so this is a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah, that is annoying, you have to say. I mean, losing that robo, you want to have the double robo for more production, but, you know, he took a risk, and this is what happens when risks don't pay off.
Yep. But risks probably necessary in a best of 7. Unfortunately, yeah, you're right, this one not paying off.
All right, so we do have another robo starting for PartinG back at home, same time as Creator, so both of them have that same idea of going for a lot of Colossi at this point. And the problem with that is that we already have 2 out for Creator, so he should be up by 2 Colossi the entire time.
And we have more gateways coming here. Here for PartinG. The second robo bay will be up soon. It does look like it's going to be so far 3 Colossi out here for Creator, none for PartinG.
Yeah.
That's a pretty substantial difference.
Yeah, you know, he's always going to vary between 3 and 2 of the
Now, if I understand right, endgame PvP, you probably want about 8 Colossus, 8 Immortals.
Yeah, it matters on the map and how you're going to attack, but absolutely, those are pretty good numbers because the Colossi can't walk over each other. So, you know, it's important to not overmake them to the point where they can't all fire and they don't dance behind each other. So that's something to look at. And actually, how many they make can tell you what their plan is. For instance, if you see someone make 10 Colossi on this map, they're not quite as likely to attack quickly. Maybe trying to just take control of the middle or something like that.
All right, Colossi are moving out to the upper left. along with the Immortal and the Stalkers here, but I think this might be not the best idea here for PartinG. PartinG not going to try to harass inside the main.
A smart idea, but just not now. And will he get out? Yeah, it looks like he will.
That was close.
Yeah.
PartinG trying to do some damage. Creator not going to let it happen.
Yeah, smart move though. You know, move your army up, try to draw his army out, and then do a little drop. But Creator really on top of his defense at this point, and he has a third Nexus going up. A lot quicker here, almost half as much quicker.
Well, I don't know what PartinG can do to recover. I mean, Creator is playing so well. I don't even know if PartinG can do any more hidden techs on the map. It does not seem like Creator's going to have any of that. He will know for sure.
Yeah, you know, PartinG I think is just going to have to play positionally very well and try to get a good engagement.
Sure.
If you win one big engagement in this matchup, everything can turn around. If you get ahead in Colossus counts by a decent amount, that's really the damage dealer in the Protoss army in the late game.
Another Colossi coming out here to meet in the middle. And again, Creator just with a pretty substantial 15 supply lead.
And you know, that's basically the Colossi. Right now it's 7-5.
Sure.
So that is making a big difference. But we can point out that right now there's 7 Stalkers out for Creator and 3 Immortals and just 2 Stalkers out for PartinG. And that actually helps PartinG a little bit because Immortals are very useful in the late game PvP. They're not the best unit, but they're a good one to have in your army. Whereas Stalkers, not so much. Once everything dies, they're great. But you don't really want very many of them in your army, if any, to be honest, in the late game.
They're just not that helpful.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of damage. They don't have a lot of hit points. They don't have a lot of use.
I love how he's placing these pylons and potentially a Nexus over here at the bottom left. Going to make it pretty difficult for him to move out. Now, Creator has, I think he's doing it just right. He has that right number of Colossi. So now what he's going to do is just start making Immortals.
That is so true. He's at that 8 number, as you mentioned, Tasteless. Whereas PartinG, I think, is realizing that he's going to have to go for a more powerful punch. He's on 7 and producing 2 of more still. So he's going to stay on these Colossi and look for a defensive situation or possibly an offensive situation, just the right spot, where he can actually kill off a big chunk of Creator's army. So right now, taking a look at the supply, it's 188 for Creator, 158 for PartinG. He continues to fall behind in that. And once again, that has to do with the Colossi build.
This could get ugly. Again, and a lot of it will depend on the positional play here. It looks like PartinG might want to try to take advantage of this small little hole in the ground. And, you know, when the angle comes in here for them to try to actually hit, Creator closing in now. Maxing out.
He's actually really clumped up there. He's got to be careful. PartinG is going to get a good volley off, and those are actually some really nice volleys. PartinG spread a little bit better than Creator right now, but will this end up mattering? And actually, yes, it will.
A very bad engagement there for Creator. It was one where he was not able to utilize his ground army. Unbelievable. Going to be tough to recover from this now, going to the high ground, melting these Zealots. Right now, Creator on the run, 118 food to 124.
This is exactly what PartinG wanted to have happen. In fact, now going to be warping into that main base. Such a strong move, but he sat there defensively with 10 or so Colossi, waited for Creator to get out of position while attacking him, and now he has the lead. He has recovered from his deficits perfectly.
All right, we got a 4th Nexus coming up here in the upper right. Probe now headed over here. Man, you know, Creator, he engaged on that area where his ground forces besides the Colossi couldn't be utilized.
Yeah.
And it was just a big mistake. He did not need to engage there. He should have backed up,
especially
regrouped,
against more Colossi.
And you know what? Probably just contained him.
You're completely right.
He doesn't need to attack.
He had a lead in a lot of good ways, but that was a poor attack. He could have done things like take in the middle. Absolutely could have sat in the middle there.
Sure.
He could have teched up further too, because while we're almost getting ultimate armies, they aren't ultimate yet. Eventually in this matchup, you will get into having some Speed War Prisms, DT tech, for multiple drops and stuff like that to try to draw them out of position, as well as a Mothership and some High Templars. And, you know, he could have taken that advantage and brought it further by doing something like that, as opposed to that attack.
All right, we got more Colossi coming up here. And I got to say, Creator not in very good shape right now. There's other Colossi coming up here to try to save the day. Nice targeting down here with these Colossi. PartinG definitely with a superior micro here. Unbelievable one-shotting each Colossi.
And just too many Colossi out here for PartinG right now. The most important unit in the PvP matchup, just slaughtering off Creator, and GG.